Alrighty, today we are talking about Orca. So, if you're not familiar, Orca is the project replacing the rail deck park at Front and Spadina. Well, on the south side of Front, from Bathurst all the way over to Spadina and even over to Blue Jays. You are getting 9 buildings, 7 residential, 9 in total. 2 will be commercial buildings directly across the street from Tridell's The Well. So if you're not familiar, this is a 21-acre site. The initial plan was for it all to be parkland. So it's just going to be the rail deck park built over top of the rail corridor there, the hideous rail corridor. But obviously, the City of Toronto can't afford it. So developer is stepping in and paying the piper. I actually like this proposal, right? I think it's a win-win. So this is a proposal from Fengate Craft Developments and Kingsman Group. I may be forgetting some other developers. And quick disclaimer here, guys. I do not speak for nor represent the developer, okay? We represent our clients at Pre-Condo. Anything I say is based on publicly available documents submitted to the City of Toronto for proposals and approvals and all that good stuff. It can change at any moment, all right? Moving on. So we're right here, obviously, above the rail corridor. You guys know it. If you're from Toronto, you see it all the time. The initial plan was just for 21 acres of public parkland, right? But, and to give you perspective on that, 21 acres, roughly the size of 16 football fields. And it would have been entirely parkland, no residential, no condos, no commercial space. But look, the 2017 estimate in total price to do this was $1.5 billion. We can't afford it. In total, we have $400 million in our parkland reserve. So at the time, that's what we had. And if you're not familiar, when you're building a condo building in Toronto, the City of Toronto is going to say, hey, you also have to build a park. But obviously, most of the time, you're buying a half-acre parcel of land. There is no room for a park. So they say, okay, cool. Instead, you're going to give us cash in lieu. So the developer will fork over, on average, $16,000 per unit. The city puts it in a fund and is going to use that fund to build parkland in the future. We only had $400 million at the time. The cost estimate on the rail deck park was $1.5 billion. So we couldn't do it, right? I think this is a win-win because the developer's going to step in, pay for 12 acres of park. So instead of 21 acres, we're still getting over 12 acres of parkland. And we're a city, obviously, with a massive housing shortage. And they're going to bring us 2,750 units. So I'll throw up the site plan here so you can get your bearings if you don't already know where we're at. Like I said, south side of Front Street along the rail corridor, all the way from Bathurst to Spadina, and then a little parcel of the development over on Blue Jays. In total, you have 9 buildings, 7 of which are residential. The 2 commercial buildings will be on either side, the east and west side of Spadina here, and the rest will be residential, ranging from 27 to 59 stories. And the current proposal and the current plan is actually pretty unique. So a lot of the buildings have, connecting bridges between them with outdoor amenities and green roofs. So you're going to get some killer views from up there, some really nice outdoor private amenity space. And like I said, we're still getting 12 acres of park. So still the majority of the parcel of land is going to be parkland, publicly available parkland with atriums, tons of seating areas, running trails, walking trails, these beautiful cliffs and all this landscaping. So I really like the proposal. In fact, I'll say it. I like it better than the 21-acre public park. Why? Well, number one, I get to sell them, right? So I'm a pre-construction broker, right, guys? So I'm incredibly biased person to take an opinion on this site. We have a housing shortage in Toronto. That is no secret. We need more residential units. This brings 2,750 residential units into a relatively dead piece of land, right? So the rail corridor is hideous. We needed to do something with it. Rail deck park, we can't afford. And this is a really good compromise, right? And it's worth noting, they're also proposing a GO station here, the Spadina GO station. I mean, you're at Front and Spadina, so you're really not, you're close to transit anyways. But it's nice to see that there's a transit component with the proposal as well. Like I said, you have 7 residential and 2 commercial buildings, 2,750 units in total. Now, 550 of those residential units are going to be affordable rental units, right? So this brings some affordable housing to the city as well. If you're not familiar, people ask me all the time, well, what constitutes like affordable housing? So it'll be based on 80% of CMHC's market average rent. So that puts a 1-bedroom currently at $1,100 a month, so considerably below market rent. So they are very affordable, provided you can qualify for the program. And then for the rest of the saleable units, they've actually got an interesting unit composition proposed. So 825 1-bedrooms, 1,100 2-bedrooms, and 825 3-bedrooms, which is a lot, in my opinion, of 3-bedrooms. So if you're not familiar, the City of Toronto currently requires any pre-construction condo development to reserve 10% of the units for 3-bedroom, or as they call it, family-sized units. And given the fact that people buying a condo building that's not going to be ready for 5, 6, 7, even 8 years, they tend to skew heavily to the investor side of the market, right? Because end users, downsizers, first-time home buyers, upsizers, they're traditionally looking for something ready a lot sooner. So unless you're buying this for your kids down the line, the people who fund these developments essentially, are investors. They buy from the developer day one, building closes in 8 years, some of them start to sell, and end users start to pick up those units, and the building demographic changes from heavily investment to over time to become a more homeowner-driven building. That's just how buildings mature over the years, right? It'll be interesting to see how the market absorbs all those 3 bedrooms. Now, I'll throw up some renderings of the public parkland. You have a lot going on here. My only beef with them is, and I've seen it mentioned on Twitter, is there's a lot of stairs. Like we're very heavily elevated from street level here. So there's tons of stairs and it's multi-level. I think that could actually be a good thing. I don't have a problem with stairs, but from an accessibility standpoint, I'm sure it's probably going to be a mess. But look, I'm a realtor. I'm no urban planner. So maybe just disregard that opinion. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But there is, an atrium. There's tons of seating areas. I think it's going to be a really well-utilized parkland. And of course, it all connects to the commercial, or rather the retail at street level. So it's going to be a really interesting place to hang out. You're looking at 12 acres of it, running trails. You've even got this cliff that they rendered at the Bathurst side of the project. Now, the cliff rendering does have people rock climbing without ropes or harnesses. So they must have just incredible grip strength, but I digress. So in terms of retail, I'll throw up the ground level plan here. You've got a ton of 2-story retail on the ground level, 62,000 square meters. So just shy of 700,000 square feet of retail space. And remember, this is directly across the street from Tridell's The Well. So Orca's here, right, in pink. If you haven't seen this model before, pink is, proposed and blue is under construction. And then Tridell's The Well is right here. And both of them have this sort of open air but covered with a galleria retail along the ground level. And they're directly across front from each other. So the entrance to the galleria for Orca's there, and the entrance to the Wells is right over here. So directly across the street. So you've got 700,000 square feet on the Orca side and another 400,000 square feet of retail on Tridell's side. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, Shops at Don Mills is 500,000 square feet. Eaton Center's 2 million square feet. So combined between the Well and Orca, you have 1.2 or 1.3 million square feet of retail space. So it's just a ton of retail space in this pocket, going to really, almost move King West a little closer to Spadina. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm looking forward to it. It's bringing a ton of amenities to the buildings. To City Place as well. And then additionally, you have another 80,000 square meters of commercial office space in the office building. So tons of employment will be housed in this area, and tons of residential as well. So like I said, it's like having a giant master plan community in the middle of the city. I really like it. I think it's a unique proposal. I'm sure it'll change many times over the years as they get closer to launching this and starting this thing. But yeah, if you like this type of content, guys, I'm going to try to do more project overviews in the next few weeks. So like and subscribe for more, and leave your comments below. I'd love to know which projects you want me to do a little bit more detail on, and I want to know what you think of this one. So I will see you guys next video.